We have competitive prices and the food tastes phenomenal, which I think it does. Like, I just don't see why it won't work.
Absolutely, absolutely.
On June 17th, 2023, Mr. Beast replied to a tweet asking about what happened to Beast Burgers, as he hadn't been promoting it too much. He replied, "The problem with Beast Burger is I cannot guarantee the quality of the order." This was the first time Jimmy spoke about the problems with Mr. Beast Burger and implied he was trying to step down. After this, rumors started flying that Jimmy was suing Beast Burger's kitchen partners' virtual dining concepts to end the contract early. One thing led to another, and now Mr. Beast is being sued for $100 million while suing the kitchen partners. Yep, it's a huge legal mess, but how did it get so bad? Wasn't Beast Burger growing like crazy? Well, it was. And that might be the problem. It started growing so fast that quality control took a back seat. If you look at Twitter, you'll find tweets from thousands of enraged customers who got a really bad burger. So, where did everything go wrong? And what happens next? Is Beast Burger dead? We'll answer everything today. But let's take a step back and understand how everything started. By 2020, Mr. Beast was one of the fastest growing YouTube channels and had become a brand himself. He had planted 20 million trees, picked up 50 million pounds of trash, and so on. You get the idea. When the pandemic hit in 2020, the hospitality industry was hit hard, and Mr. Beast had an idea, opening a burger chain, but with ghost kitchens, meaning his store would not have any physical stores where you could dine in. Rather, the food would be made in ghost kitchens and delivered to the customers. Because of COVID, there were already strict restrictions in place for restaurants, and this was a good business move on his part. Online businesses were already doing well because people hesitated to go out because of the virus. Mr. Beast did not have any idea about running a burger chain. He had no background in anything related to the hospitality industry, but there was one thing Mr. Beast knew really well: how to attract people to his ideas. He had plenty of experience in creating viral stuff. I mean, that's what he did for a living. So he got to work. At this point, Mr. Beast had become a go big or go home kind of guy. And like any of his other ideas, he wanted this one to be big as well. And become big it did. By 2020, he had made a name for himself as one of the most genuine creators in the industry, and he was not about to disappoint his fans. As he lacked knowledge of this whole burger thing, he looked for help. He came across a company called Virtual Dining Concepts. The company had established itself as it had worked with big names like Mariah Carey and Tyga. This company provided Mr. Beast with ghost kitchens. How this worked was Beast provided the recipe, menu, and how he wanted the burgers to be, and the company provided the resources needed to make and deliver the burgers to the customers. This way, a party with more experience in the industry could take over, and Mr. Beast could use his brand to see the products. It looked like a win-win. In November 2020, in a very Mr. Beast style, Mr. Beast launched his restaurant. He opened a temporary store in Wilson, North Carolina, where rather than taking money from his customers, he and his friends can be seen giving people money, iPads, and even a new car. He made a video titled, "I opened a restaurant that pays you to eat at it." As of now, that video has 164 million views and 4.8 million likes. In the video, you can see the queue of people waiting to get a taste of his burger. The people came in thousands. I mean, his burger was not anything that special for people to be crazy about. It was him they were crazy about and wanted to see and meet their favorite YouTube creator. The line became so long that it was disrupting the traffic, and it was impossible for the police to handle it, and on their request, the line was closed. The video was uploaded to YouTube on December 19, 2020, where he officially announced the launch of his burger chain. The video reached #1 on YouTube shortly after its upload, and their Mr. Beast Burger apps were on the top spot of App and Play Store. He also announced on Twitter that he had launched Beast Burger, and of course, it was go big or go home for this guy. And he not only opened 1 or 2 stores, nah, that's not how Mr. Beast rolled. He announced that he opened 300 stores nationwide. And to say the response was overwhelming would be an understatement. It looked as if everyone wanted to get their hands on the burger. It got so many downloads that the server started crashing. The people were ordering so much that all 300 locations reported running out of food on the very first night of the launch. The hype was real, and the chain was a success overnight. In just 3 months, the chain sold 1 million burgers. Following the success of the US store's international expansion started to take place. In early February 2022, the first stores in Canada opened in Toronto, Edmonton, and Calgary. In May, the first locations in the UK were open. In August of 2022, Beast announced that the physical stores for the chain would be opened in American Dream Mall in East Rutherford, New Jersey, near New York City. The restaurant officially opened in September. The people were so eager to see Mr. Beast and taste his burger that thousands of people flooded to the mall, and the New Jersey troopers had to be called to control the crowd.
Thousands of people crowded the American Dream Mall in East Rutherford for a restaurant opening.
It seemed to be more about the owner, though, than the food. Take a look.
Wow, this is wild. This is
2023, the business expanded to Mexico and also Asia by opening its first virtual store in the Philippines. It was reported that in 2022, the chain made over $100 million in revenue. But out of nowhere, Mr. Beast filed a lawsuit against the company Virtual Dining Concepts, with whom he partnered to make Mr. Beast Burger.
Partnered with Virtual Dining Concepts in 2020 to provide food for his Mr. Beast branded fast food chain. But Donaldson claims things went terribly wrong after Virtual Dining Concepts delivered food that customers labeled inedible.
Things seemed to be going great for the company. It was expanding rapidly inside the country and outside as well. And, well, it was making good money as well, so what happened? Why the lawsuit? The thing is, the business expanded way too rapidly for it to be sustainable. The chain overestimated itself. They just looked at the demand aspect of the business rather than analyzing if they had the resources to meet the demand. At first, opening 300 locations seemed like a good idea. The fans in different places would try to get the burger, and happy fans meant more business for Mr. Beast. Turns out, this was not a great idea at all. Mr. Beast treated this business as one of his viral YouTube videos, and that was not sustaining at all. For context, it took McDonald's 10 years to get to 300 stores. All of his fans wanted to try the burger just because it was Mr. Beast's burger. The ghost kitchens were probably overwhelmed by the number of orders they were getting. The good thing to do would have been to start gradually and expand as they built the resources. They just did not have enough resources to deal with the tsunami of orders. Everyone who loved Mr. Beast as a creator wanted to support him and his venture, which is actually a really good thing for a business. But for this business, they were just not prepared enough. People started to complain about the quality of the food. Some were getting moldy buns, and some were getting raw meat. There was no quality control whatsoever, and the taste of the burger was not consistent. This did not stop them from expanding, even if they were not in a position to expand, just because there still was a demand for the product. As I said before, it was not because the chain was selling something different or it tasted better than the competitor. It was all because Mr. Beast's name was attached to it. Another reason for this situation seems to be Beast's lack of interest in his own business. It's not like he's financially dependent on the business. Let's just say he has a lot on his plate. Soon after the chain was launched, Mr. Beast launched his snack brand called Feastables. He seemed to be more passionate about that than the burger, and he even admitted to it in a series of now-deleted tweets that he enjoyed Feastables 100 times more than his burger chain. Initially, the situation seemed to be under control, but gradually this started to impact his brand as a whole. People admired Beast for how genuine he was, and word of how bad his burgers were started to spread. People started to question him, and his brand image was in jeopardy. Mr. Beast was just getting started, and he was not about to let a bad deal he signed when he was young, his words, not mine, jeopardize his brand. He did not care if the whole chain shut down, as he was no longer interested in it, but the company he partnered with had no intentions of shutting it down because with Beast's brand name attached to it, the business was booming. In July 2023, Beast sued Virtual Dining Concepts, citing that they were damaging his brand name by selling inedible and disgusting food. According to the lawsuit, the company won't let Beast out of the deal. As a result, in August 2023, the company countersued Mr. Beast, citing that he had not met his contractual obligations and he intentionally damaged the reputation of Mr. Beast Burger. And because of that, the company lost money and business relationships. I feel like Mr. Beast is not really at fault here, and this is just a classic case of how not to do business. Of course, Beast losing interest in running the business probably played a part here, but he certainly did not have any control over the quality of the food or how it was presented to the customers. This will certainly go down as one of Mr. Beast's failed endeavors. With the pending lawsuit, the future of the company does not look so good right now. People supported the chain only because it was Mr. Beast's burger. With him out of the deal, I do not think there is much the company has to offer. What do you think about this situation? Do share your thoughts in the comments below.